Crank it. Okay, we're getting started now. Everybody come on in, take a seat. Plenty of room up here. The sun's gonna dip behind the tent there in a minute. We'll be able to see the screen pretty well. Everybody get situated. We're gonna start here.
We're looking at you, cocktail line. You're way too late on that one, guys.
Yeah, plenty of time for later to drink, okay? Bring one with you. Okay, I'd like to welcome you all to Naturally Boulder's 17th Annual Pitch Slam and Autumn Awards. Woohoo! Let's hear it. Come on. All right. Nearly 400 of you, thank you for showing up today. Beautiful day in Boulder. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce. We love you. And I'm Bill Capsalis, the Executive Director of Naturally Boulder. I have been with the organization on and off for 17 years. I was on the board, I was a volunteer, I was a chair of the board, then I went away, but I was running the forum groups. Now I'm back as the Executive Director. I just can't stay away, apparently. There's a lot of reasons why that is, but we won't go into a lot of them right now. I just love the community. I love everything you guys do. I love seeing the new entrepreneurs. It's beautiful. You're all beautiful. It's a wonderful crowd today. We are going to have some fun during the presentations. We have a pitch going on. We have some awards to give out we're very excited about. And what I would tell you is we're now a part of a network of other affiliates. We've spawned a network, if that's the right word. And we're now one of 7 naturally somethings. So we are Naturally Boulder, the original one. We're happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. I would like to turn over the MC duties this afternoon to 2 amazing people with great hair. And I mean that seriously. You both have great hair.
Thanks,
Coming
Bill.
from someone who has his hair still. My good friend, Julie Novelli. She has won this pitch slam before. She knows of which she speaks. So Julie, say hi to Julie. And right next to her, Raj Babu, who is now with Capella's, leading the Capella's team. And Raj has been in the industry for a while, and let's give him a big round of applause. Raj. And we're going to start our program now. We're turning it over to the MCs. Everybody enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Here we go.
Thank you so much, Bill, and we're really excited to be here, and there's a lot of you. So we'll do our best. I swear we're going to probably drop this mic at least once, so don't make fun of us when we do that. But we hope you have fun tonight. A lot of different ways we can talk about this event as we kick it off. We can talk about the Innovation Showcase, where 30 companies are out there, a lot of them for the very first time sampling their products. Could talk about the deepest group of Pitch Slam applicants and finalists we have ever seen. And we have 5 amazing ones coming up today, which we're really excited for. Could also start by talking about a group of really amazingly accomplished industry veterans and leaders. They're winning awards today, and the presenters as well. But I'm just gonna start by saying it feels really good to be back in person, right? Y'all have grown a lot since last time I saw you. I've missed you all. Julie?
Thanks, Bill, for the introduction. I'm so excited to be here as well. I love the Innovation Showcase, and I didn't quite make it to all the booths, so I'm glad it will be open after this as well. So I'm going to talk to you about the format of the night, so you know what to expect. And in case you haven't heard, we are having a pitch slam here tonight. Let's hear it for all the pitchers. So Raj and I decided we wanted to mix it up a little bit this year, do things a little bit differently. So our goal was to keep all of you in suspense as long as possible. So we've decided to sprinkle in the awards throughout the pitches. So we'll have some pitchers, awards, and more pitches. And then you'll have the opportunity to vote on the People's Choice Award, so pay close attention to the pitchers and decide who your favorite brand is. And in addition to awards and pitchers, we'll also have an amazing keynote speaker, and I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. So we're also live streaming, so people all over the world can join us. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Love you.
All right, so let's give a big thank you to New Hope as the Pitch Slam sponsor. Woo! New Hope has always been so supportive of Naturally Boulder. JCC for hosting us, volunteers, and especially the staff who've been working their tails off. Thank you, Julie and Christy. I also want to make sure to thank our event sponsors and donors. Without these people, you wouldn't have some of the drinks or chairs or tents or all the great things we have that our community came together. We have New Hope, Spins, Jessica Sibilla, Condit Exhibits, Eco Products, Whole Brain Consulting, Yasso Frozen Greek Yogurt, Oscar Blues, Wild Basin Boozy Sparkling Water, Spinster Sisters, Weller, and Wander and Ivy.
All right. So we will also take a moment to recognize those that keep Naturally Boulder running, especially during these pretty difficult times over the past year or so. So to the board of directors, thank you so much for all you've done. A round of applause for you guys. The advisors who've been with us for a very long time, and also the staff. Julie mentioned, Julie and Christy, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for putting this together. You have no idea how hard they're working, so thank you all. We also have a new executive team for 2022. Put your hands together for our new chair, Kyle Garner, Brandon Hernandez, our vice chair, Mike Murray as our treasurer, and Kelly Shea as our secretary. Now, as the last person alive to have seen The Lion King, which I saw last week with my 3-year-old daughter, I learned a lot about the circle of life. And with that, we have 4 people that are leaving our board. Russ Forrester, Susan Graff, who's on the gong today, Alyssa Harding, and John Grube. Thank you all for what you've done with this board, what you've accomplished. They've all served in executive roles. And also a thank you to Andy Judd and Ben Fenton, who are still staying on the board but relinquishing their executive role. I'd also like to remember 2 individuals who were longtime friends and supporters of Naturally Boulder. First, Francis Draper, passed last month. Francis, among so many other things, was a treasurer for Naturally Boulder and also the executive director for the Boulder Economic Council. Also want to recognize Professor Mark Meany, who is a scholar in residence for social responsibility and sustainability over at CU Boulder, and a longtime supporter of Naturally Boulder, has sent so many of his students over here to get involved and help out. To say they'll be missed is a disservice, so I'm going to say you'll be remembered for a very long time and loved. And of course, I'd be remiss not to mention the horror and sadness we felt on March 22nd down the road at King Soopers and the lives lost. A lot of emotions to feel: anger, grief, sadness, but I'll just choose to quickly speak about gratitude. Gratitude for Officer Talley, who was the first person there, and it gave his life to keep us safe. The first responders who secured the scene, and the strength and resilience of this community, which the entire world saw. We'll continue the show, but we'll continue to keep them in our hearts today.
Thank you, Raj. All right, now it's time to get this pitch slam started. As I mentioned earlier, pay close attention. You get a vote in the People's Choice Award. We'll walk you through that in a little bit. I'd like to introduce our judges. I will start with Christy Lewis. Christy's the founder and CEO. Raise your hand, Christy. Founder and CEO of Quinn Snacks. Christy invented and patented the first microwavable popcorn bag that didn't have any chemicals or plastic liners. And now Quinn Snacks offers a variety of better-for-you classic snacks. Christy's been noticed and received awards by Fortune magazine and Whole Foods, and as well as others. An interesting fact about Christy is her husband is also an entrepreneur, so that makes at least 2 crazy people in their house. But they also have 3 boys, so you can just imagine what it's like over there. Thanks for being here, Christy. And then Randy Gilbride has been in the natural products industry for 14 years, primarily working with small emerging brands like Mix One, Udi's, and Drake's Smoked Meats. He currently works for Sunrise Strategic Partners, supporting brands in areas of sales and marketing. A funny fact about Randy, I loved this one. He gave me a couple to choose from, but when Randy was a senior in high school, he won the Connecticut State Wrestling Championship at the 119-pound weight, but he didn't really like to wrestle. Thanks for being here, Randy. And we also have Megan Siegel-Jansen. So Megan has been attending natural products expos since she was 8 years old with her dad. That's a cool fact. And she joined Third Street Chai in 2009, working in customer service and sales. She's passionate about the natural products industry and better for you products. She joined Weller in 2019 to work again with John Simmons. And one thing you don't know about Megan is she's a certified forklift driver. Thanks for being here too, Megan. So our format is each pitching company will have 3 minutes to pitch, and then the judges will pepper them with questions for about 3 minutes. Susan will be on the gong, so that once the brand hits 3 minutes, then the gong will sound and they'll need to stop talking. But before we announce our pitchers, I wanted to talk about the prize pack. The 2021 prize pack for the Pitch Slam winner is worth $75,000. Very impressive. And of course, you can't put a price on the notoriety from winning the Pitch Slam. So we can't see the slides because of the sun. So I'm going to read the prize pack contributors. New Hope Network donated a booth at Expo East for the winning company, which is amazing, as well as a guaranteed spot in the Expo East Pitch Slam. Thank you, New Hope. Naturally Boulder is also providing a chunk of cash to help that brand get to Expo East. And we also have services provided by Holland & Hart, Divewire, Spins, 1908 Brands, BFG Partners, Compass Natural, Whole Brain Consulting, Fortnite Collective, New Nexus Group, Creative Alignments, and Brand Guide.
All right. Thank you all. We appreciate you. All right, it's time to get the show started. So a thank you to all the Pitch Slam applicants. I think it may have been the record year for most applications and the toughest decision we've had yet. There were 5 companies that we felt were just a cut above everyone else, and they're here today to pitch looking directly into that sun while you all yell at them from your seats and make fun of them. Do not throw anything, though, guys, but just make fun of them. So those 5, we have Wild Barn Coffee, Frescos Naturales, Fossil Fuel Donuts, Core and Rind, and Pastificio. I hope I did that right. So, let's get the show on the road. Claudia, where are you? All right. Don't make eye contact with the judges. They hate it.
No. I need my hands.
Megan's an alpha.
Exactly. Ready. Just imagine it's late summer and you bite into a perfectly ripe heirloom tomato. It is bursting with flavor. It tastes alive. It tastes like a tomato should. And then it's January, you go to the grocery store, you grab a conventional tomato, you bite into it. It doesn't really taste like anything. A very similar story is happening to many of our foods, including wheat. Pastificio Boulder is a craft pasta company primarily working with heirloom and ancient varieties of wheat to bring back the real flavor of wheat to pasta. We collaborate with local and regional farmers to grow those unique grains. We receive ours in whole berry form, and we freshly mill our flour in-house just before crafting the pastas. In the winemaking world, different varieties of grapes are blended together to create amazing wines. We do pretty much the same with our flour. We get different varieties of wheat and blend them to create outstanding pasta. To that flour blend, we add artesian spring water and nothing else. And then in small batches and using very artisanal Italian pasta making techniques, we craft our pastas. We extrude them through bronze dies, and we slow dry them from 36 to 48 hours at low temperature. Our pastas are full of flavor. They are nutritionally superior. They have just the right smooth texture, and they are more digestible. The main feedback we get from our customers is that our pastas make them feel well, not bloated and uncomfortable as when they eat conventionally and heavily processed wheat. Many of them are gluten sensitive. We look at sustainability really broadly at Pastificio. All our packaging is 100% plastic-free, fully compostable, and recyclable. Just this year, we won 2 Good Food Awards and the Next Year Award for Best New Mission-Based Product at Expo West. You can find our pastas at 35 Whole Foods across the Rocky Mountain region and at independent stores and farm stands all over the country. It is our hope that our pastas bring back the pleasure in the flavors of real wheat, and it inspires a more biodiverse and regenerative food system. Thank you.
That was really well done. I wanted that gong to be louder though, Susan. You got to put more arm into it. Now the next part is the judges. So we actually got the 3 meanest judges we could find to ask you questions. So take it away, judges. Megan, I think you're up.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to taste this delicious pasta. Thank you, Bill. So thank you so much. It's delicious. The first question I have is, how are you going to tell this beautiful story that you've just told all of us to a very crowded space and, again, grabbing that consumer?
You know, we have been doing this work for 4 years and talking to people. We go to farmers markets, we tell the story, we participate in events like this. But I think the main way of talking to the customer is through the packaging. You know, we are trying to reflect in what we put on the package, what our brand stands for. We're about to launch a bigger package, a different box with the picture, with the story, and just go out and talk to people.
Great job. Love the sustainable packaging. You talked a little bit about Whole Foods and how you're in 35 Whole Foods, and I was wondering, do you guys have any reads on velocity and how the products are turning so far?
So we did start at Whole Foods exactly, a little over a year ago. And the data that we have, it's not, more than a cycle, it's one cycle. So considering the first 6 months and then the second, we have grown about 36%.
Great, thank you.
Hi, thanks. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years in your company?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Sure. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
So, we are trying to grow very consciously and correctly, and especially in the Rocky Mountain region. So we are trying to go deep here, tell the story, communicate with people. Of course, what speaks, it's our product, and to try to get people to try it. We have an amazing relationship with Whole Foods. They have been just incredible. We also collaborate with a lot of people in this region trying to revive the story of the wheat. We're part of the Colorado grain chain. We're collaborating with Mad Ag. So I think it's a collective movement of trying to tell the story and bring back this. 3 to 5 years, we hope to be at Whole Foods nationwide and also retailers that share the same mission as we do.
Thank you.
More
All
questions?
right. Any other questions, judges?
Yeah, I do. Who's on your team?
So we are co-founders, myself, my husband, and we do have 2 full-time employees. A small company still.
You talked about the nutritional benefits of the product. Can you dig a little more into that? It seems like a lot of pasta brands now, like Banza and Right Rice, really promote them. Oh.
Well done.
Let's give it up for Claudia. Great job. Now it's time for our first award, like I said, to keep you in suspense. So now presenting our award for the Climate Catalyst, we have Naturally Boulder's 2014 Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, and she is also a current board advisor. Please welcome Joan Boykin.
I can't see any of you because of that sun, but I must say that...
Do you want to borrow my hat?
I must say... I want to put it right here, Bill. I wanted to. I must say, it has been wonderful seeing so many of you in person tonight. So the Climate Catalyst Award is Naturally Boulder's newest one, and its purpose is to recognize businesses in our community that have made significant progress in climate action programs that are radical, replicable, and innovative. This award highlights a brand, a retailer, a company, an organization that's actively engaged in implementing best climate-friendly practices, a business that's made meaningful, substantial, and importantly, quantifiable advancements in climate impact areas. The company we're recognizing tonight has done breakthrough work in soil science and health, ensuring resilient and regenerative agro-food systems to feed future generations. They've already expanded what is currently the most comprehensive regenerative ag program in the dairy industry, which is 82,000 acres, and further, they have committed to increasing that to 100,000 acres by 2022. Their work encompasses soil health, farmer engagement, investment strategy, coalitions, advocacy, and so much more. This year's winner is Danone, if you're French, Danone, if you're English, and Danone, if you're American. And accepting the award tonight is Deanna Bratter, who is the head of sustainable development, as well as Marie Dobson, who's the senior director of Horizon Marketing. So,
Thank you, Joan. I'm even shorter. Hi, everyone. Totally delicious cashew cheesy sauces. We wanted a cheese sauce that used only whole food ingredients, think pumpkin, tomato, cashews, while leaving out undesirable ingredients like gums and fillers. We wanted a sauce that had a long shelf life, 3 years to be exact, and now this dream is available to anyone who shares a love of delicious cheesy dishes or dips, including those who are vegan, paleo, Whole30, and keto. So I had a hockey stick on my slide. And that was going to be to show you guys that we've had a lot of awesome growth and great opportunities ahead. So I'll be doing this to show you the hockey stick, okay? Increasingly, customers are voting with their wallets. And what they want is healthy plant-based foods, but they're unwilling to sacrifice flavor. In fact, 48% of Americans are looking to add plant-based products into their diet, which means our total addressable market is about half the country. Along with selling like hotcakes on thrivemarket.com, at the beginning of 2020, we were in about 100 retail stores. Today, we're in over 1,000 natural channel stores throughout the US and Canada, including Whole Foods Midwest and Sprouts nationwide. In 2019, sales were just over 100,000. We're anticipating that number times 9 this year. Our strong margin average across all channels will continue to improve as we scale. And to help us achieve this, we're so grateful to have partnered with one of Colorado's top sauce makers. When Reed and I used to make our sauce, a 90-jar output was a good day. In May of this year, we had a happy dance as we completed our largest run yet of 90,000 jars. And I've got 10 seconds, so we're thrilled. Our company is now among brands like Siete and Epic Foods, after also being accepted into the nation's top accelerator SKU. We're so grateful to be here, and stay cheesy, Naturally Boulder.
All right, judges.
Great presentation. Love the products. They were delicious. You talked a little bit about Siete, and there's a couple others in the market, like on a stand. Just wanted to get your opinion on how you're differentiated from some of those guys that are already in the market.
Yeah. So many of our competitors are either refrigerated or have a bunch of chemicals or things that are not as desirable. So yeah, we're the only clean label, shelf stable, and totally delicious cheesy sauce.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you talk about distribution. Where's your strongest market? Why? And what's your velocity in that market?
Good question. So we started out at the Midwest Whole Foods. I would say that is probably our strongest market. Our 3 local St. Louis stores, awesome velocities. And so it's kind of continued throughout the Midwest region. It's at or above category. So,
And
yeah.
what is that? What is that velocity? Per
3 to
store,
4
per
jars.
unit?
3 to 4 jars a week. Yeah. And with our higher price point, it's actually bringing in a lot of money for them. So they like us.
Hi, thanks. Great branding. I love your packaging, and I've tried it. I buy it. What keeps you up at night?
Okay, there's a lot. I think it's something basically our vision and passion is so strong, and we've struggled with having the funding to be able to do those things and bring out the new products and get them out in a way that is more powerful. We just haven't had the funds to do that yet, so we're waiting on that.
Thanks.
You mentioned pricing. How do you compare on pricing versus the Sietes of the world?
Yeah, so we do have a higher price point. It's $9.99. We actually consulted with Whole Foods on that, and they are A-okay on that. We actually run promos to kind of, entice that first grab off the shelf. But yeah, we've been successful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And at that $9.99 price point, what's your margin?
Across all channels, it's cool.
Average.
It's cool. Average 48%. That includes Canada too. Brings it down a bit.
Do you have any plans to hire more people? And clearly you need money to do that, but who would you hire
Yes.
first?
Probably an ops person. Yeah. Yeah, I'm more sales and face of the company. My business partner is an amazing, incredible marketer. So yeah, we kind of want that pillar of ops brought in.
One last question. If you could be in any retailer across the country, who would you choose? Where's your dream?
Well, we're already in Whole Foods and Sprouts and Air One. So those were our biggest targets. But more to come, I hope.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
You. Thank you.
Be prepared for a lot of resumes to be in your inbox tonight. So we'll keep it going. Frescos, where are you? Oh, there you are. Come on up. And you even get a slide now. Someone's smiling on you.
All right, word. Thanks. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Check, check. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm ready. So Frescos Naturales started at home. I grew up drinking these all my life in Guatemala, where I'm from. And see, Guatemala, like much of the rest of Latin America and the Caribbean, it's a place where most people prefer to drink refrescos over just water, or aguas frescas, as you might know them. So what this translates to is grabbing some lemons and making limonada, or boiling hibiscus and cinnamon to make jamaica, maybe soaking some rice to make horchata, or blending any of the abundant fruits to make frescos. Now, the idea of bottling these actually came from my son. He was 15 at the time, and we drink these all the time. My background is actually in making and bottling hot sauce, right? So he says to me one day, you know what you should bottle? Is this stuff. That's where it clicked, yo. He was totally right. Nobody is making aguas frescas. Like there's mad kombucha, tons of sparkling waters, all these different flavors of yerba mate, but nobody's making aguas frescas. Like legit refrescos Latino, all natural, low sugar, better for you. So I was like, yeah, I got to work. I started the beginning of this year with just one flavor and literally started going up and down the streets of Boulder, hitting up all the businesses I could. And within a couple of months, I had 3 flavors and over 20 accounts, and everybody ordering more and wanting more flavors. So see, that's what's so beautiful about frescos is that first, there's so many flavors that we can make. And second, they fit everywhere. Coffee shops, restaurants, grocery stores, breweries, wherever there's a cooler selling kombucha, Pellegrino, or jarritos, you gotta make some room for frescos. So the result has been incredible, right? Just here locally, in the first 8 months, we've sold over 60,000 cans and surpassed 100,000 in sales. Boom. We've taken frescos to over 200 farmers markets across the state to sample direct to consumers, and we just secured 2 distributors, a local Colorado distributor and a distributor that also distributes big time in the East Coast. So we're really, really, really excited about what we've put together. This year has been a lot of work. Our branding is very purposeful. We love having our stuff very colorful, but also in Spanish, to highlight our culture and the authenticity of our product. Which leads me to another issue, which I think is at the crux of all of this, which is representation, or the lack thereof, right? So there are very, very few brands that are minority-led and developing products that represent the immigrant community from within. Our products and flavors are authentic and driven by the knowledge and love of our culture. And we feel that that's what sets us apart and gives us a deeper understanding of a massive underserved immigrant Latinx market. So we're really excited about what we've made, and we can't wait to take it to the masses. So thank you.
Well done. All right, judges, do your thing.
All right. I love the product. I think it's delicious. As a mom, I think it's a great sugar point, with most of them being at 8 grams. My biggest concern as a consumer is your price point.
Sure.
And seeing it on the shelf, it looks like it's shelf stable, but you're going to have to go through grocery reefer trucks if you want to go into Whole Foods. So what's your plan on expanding into grocery?
No, it's shelf stable, so it doesn't need to be refrigerated.
It would for Whole Foods.
Sure. I actually would like to have it outside on the shelf. Spindrift? Mm-hmm. Just like that.
You're not worried about the price point?
No. I know we're going to drop it is as we scale. Right now we have margins averaging 42%, but as we scale, we have a clear path to doubling that in the next couple of years. So it's a miracle what I've made this year. I mean, it really is. It's I don't know how to explain it to you, but this is definitely going to grow very, very far away from
it's delicious.
Beyond Boulder.
Hi,
Yep.
I actually found this at the farmer's market this summer.
Yeah.
So we buy it. What are you most excited about?
The opportunity of making something really genuine and legit that's out there. I was just talking there's a Kroger person here, in case people don't know, who was very kind to come and talk to us. And we work with Kroger with our hot sauce. They've been great. It's been really, really a great venue to go in because of the network, the DPI network. We now sell hot sauce in Oregon. We're shooting for California as well. So all of those connections, like being able to take, when I think about this, the first time was just seeing Jamaica, in half-gallon sizes at Kroger. That would be great. There's tons of families that would love that. I would love that, Representation is huge. So think about tamarindo. I made the best tamarindo that's ever been produced, in my opinion. That's huge. It's massive. You don't even know. It's yeah.
Thanks.
You talked a little bit about margin currently. I think you said it was either 42 or 48%. When you have started working with a distributor now, how does that change?
So we just started. So I had to do a lot of work today, or this year. I'm really happy we're in October, for real. This was part of the whole plan, honestly. Like, I wanted to pitch before I started in January, when I had one flavor and I was going up and down telling people, yo, there's someone coming, you don't even know. Yeah, we're really excited about it. So the local Foods is going to be one of our distributors who we already work with through the hot sauce, but we're really excited about what Chef wants. They're massive. You know, they just bought Fresh Pack earlier, you know, so we already met with them. We were just waiting on the paperwork. You know, literally the pallet was sitting there waiting, you know, with 25 trays of each just to start. So as soon as that pops up on their app for all their restaurants, hotels, and everything, it's going to sell.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Juan. Nice job. Give Juan a big round of applause. Takes a lot of guts to get up there. Okay, it's time for another award, and this is for the Breakout Brand. And to present this award is the winner of the Breakout Brand Award in 2019. And John Simmons, come to the stage. And John is also a board member of Naturally Boulder. Let's give a round of applause for John.
Hey, this is a great award. This is an award that's, more from the Lance Gentry Innovation Award to, the best early new business. And it's been known as the Breakout Brand Award for, I want to say 5 years now, something like that. This award recognizes the Colorado-based brand that has raised its profile via breakthrough innovation, accelerated market performance, media buzz, and philanthropic efforts. The most recent recipients of this award include Rowdy Mermaid, Weller, Bobo's, and Quinn Popcorn. And there are many accomplishments of the brand winner of this year, but here are just a few of the highlights. They nearly doubled the number of stores in ACV over the past year. They launched 6 new items in 2021 and have received numerous industry awards. Here are a few of those. They were a New Hope Nexty finalist. They were an editor's pick at Progressive Grocer. They won an on-trend award at this year's KeHE Show. And last but not least, they were recognized as one of the Inc. 5000 fastest growing private companies. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2021 Breakout Brand, Capello's. Accepting the award, the co-founders, Ben Frolickstein and Stacy Marcellus.
Congratulations, Capello's.
Thank you guys so much for recognizing the brand. It's hard for me to think about the Boulder community without thinking about the very early days when we were hustling in a really hilarious way when I think back on it. You're like super broke, like live in your dad's basement kind of broke, and pretty clueless. And if it wasn't for this community like really showing up for us and being patient with a lot of our ignorance, I don't know that we'd be here today. So thank you for that. And when I take a step back, I'm just super grateful for our crew. I look over here because a lot of people are here, and we would be nowhere without them. And also just the fact that, I don't know, sometimes I have a hard time working in this industry because the system's broken in a lot of ways. And I feel really inspired by the fact that brands from Boulder, a lot of brands from Boulder, are actually making a notable difference. And hopefully we can just keep growing and impact the big system. So, thank you.
Honestly, I don't think I could say anything better. That was incredible. Long journey from the farmer's market here in Boulder to this stage, and it's been beautiful. So thank you all for the support and the mentorship and the community, because it wouldn't be that without y'all. So thank you.
I may or may not eat one Capello's white pizza a week. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. So good. Congratulations. All right, it's time for another pitching company. Let's give a warm welcome to Fossil Fuel Donuts. I was on a call with Alexa and I couldn't say her name because my Alexa kept. So I started saying Alexa when we were on the call.
I think that's good. Yeah.
All right, let's give her some energy before she starts. Round of applause.
Yeah. What if you could have a truly healthy treat that kept you satisfied? What if it wasn't another bar? Meet the donut. Our donuts are perfect for people with restricted diets. They are keto, paleo, vegan, gluten-free, with less than 2 grams of sugar, but sweet enough to satisfy. Fossil Fuel was founded in my hometown of Anchorage, Alaska in 2018. We got our start at a small community kitchen, self-distributing to independent coffee shops in the area. I knew there had to be a better alternative for the sugar cookies and muffins generally sold at these locations. At the end of 2019, we made the decision to move to Colorado and dive into the natural foods industry. In December of 2020, we launched on shelves at natural grocery stores and have since expanded into 70% of their locations in over 20 states. Our velocity at natural grocers is 55 donuts per store per month without any additional demo support. We're currently seeing a run rate of over $500,000 in revenue, which is nearly 500% growth over last year. Through our innovative vision to break barriers on what's normal, we've come up with a product that encompasses 3 niche markets, all rapidly growing in size. Combined, the keto, gluten-free, and vegan market size are projected to hit over $100 billion by 2027. And with no evidence of these products slowing down anytime soon, our product is now more timely than ever before. We're a one-stop shop for businesses looking to expand product offerings. For the consumer, our donuts are unlike any other option. They can act as an on-the-go breakfast replacement, an indulgence to satisfy cravings, or a performance replacement for long-lasting energy from healthy fats without the sugar crash. We're now based in Longmont, where we continue to self-manufacture and direct distribute our products. But don't worry, we know finding a co-manufacturing partner is our biggest hurdle to scalability and exactly why it's been an exciting few months. We've recently found a co-manufacturer in the area who we're working through test batches with and aiming to be fully transitioned to their facility by January. Now, I know it all sounds pretty exciting, but just so you have an idea of how it all comes together, here's a snapshot of the next few months. In January, we'll be fully transitioned to co-manufacturing, we'll start to get distribution set up, and we'll begin to bring on key team members. We're currently under review at the Whole Foods regional office and hoping to add this account in the coming months. Additionally, we're planning to present to Sprouts at their next category review. Our vision for the company as a whole is to become known for plant-based keto indulgences, which can eventually be anything from donuts to pizza. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Okay. Now, what do we need in order to make this happen? Well, we're currently showing a slight profitability. We will need additional working capital in order to move forward. And although we're a few years in, we're really just now getting started, so there's never been a better time to get involved. Thank you.
Well done. Judges, Megan.
These are absolutely delicious. Where would you find them? Where do they live in the retail market?
So at Natural Grocers, we're in the grab-and-go section next to Perfect Bar.
So refrigerated only?
Yes,
Who's on your team right now?
So we currently have a small but mighty team of 4 people, and we all kind of wear multiple hats in the company, including in the actual production ourselves, but we're excited to be able to free up the majority of our time in the kitchen to be able to really dive into the areas that we're good at. We're actually also looking to bring on an operations person who's already had experience in this industry. And ideally, this person manages kind of our scaling to the next level, which I've never had experience in. So co-manufacturing, logistics of distributing a perishable product, and supply chain management.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, great presentation and great products. I tried them earlier. They're delicious and certainly on trend. I just have an ingredient question.
Yeah.
I noticed you guys use erythritol for the sweetener, and just I know there's a lot of noise about sugar alcohols and things like that. Just wondering why you went that direction versus stevia or another sweetener.
Yeah. There's a couple reasons. So one, I think erythritol doesn't have as much of an aftertaste. It really, to me, mimics the sugar flavor that people are looking for. A lot of people steer clear of certain stevia-flavored products because of the aftertaste of it. Another reason is it doesn't spike your blood sugar as certain sugar alcohols do. And I have heard it upsets certain people's stomachs. But we use a very small amount of erythritol, so each of them have about 3 grams of sugar alcohol in them, and you'll see a lot of those products that end up hurting people's stomachs have 10 plus grams of sugar alcohol in them.
Great, thank you.
So when you're looking at your velocities with Natural Grocers, are you competing against Perfect Bar? Can you explain a little bit more about where you fall into the category?
We're positioned with Perfect Bar. I wouldn't necessarily say they're a direct competitor because it doesn't really appeal to the same audience. We're definitely more so for people with the restricted diets that are looking for these specific keto, plant-based. A lot of people have multiple restrictions combined on top of one another, and a lot of them say that this is a life savior because they can never find a packaged product, let alone a sweet indulgence that they can try with all of their restrictions. I also don't have any allergy restrictions, and I love our products, so there are people like that too.
What's the hardest thing that has happened to you in the last 12 months?
COVID.
Outside of COVID.
I think there's so many, it's hard to pick one. But the challenge of figuring out how to scale our product and not compromise has been a big one for us. We have gotten close with other co-manufacturers that try to make us compromise either our ingredients or adding different preservatives or turning them into a bar. And I'm like, well, what's the point of it if we make another bar?
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much. All right. Last but not least, Wild Barn Coffee. Come on up. Good luck.
This is good. Yeah, testing. Okay. Ready? Okay. Go. I'm Jenny, co-founder of Wild Barn Coffee. My parents have been roasting coffee in New England for 3 decades now. I have professionally been making batches of cold brew coffee since before Dunkin' Donuts even knew what it was. When I decided to can my superfood recipe, I knew all I was missing was a partner in SaaS. Cue Alyssa Evans, my best friend, co-founder, and packaging queen. Alyssa comes from White Wave, where she worked on projects like Silk Milk, Horizon Organics, and Stoke Coffee. With our passion for the outdoor combined, together we have birthed one hell of a cheeky brand. Wild Barn is so much more than just a coffee company, though. We intend to use this platform for good and for fun. At Wild Barn, we believe in equity is everything. It's our mission to be the face of change for women in the outdoors as well as in the business room. We want to see every kind of face represented in the outdoor community as well as the boardroom, and we know that every step of our process needs to come at a fair wage. We also believe in changing the ritual for good. We make a better for you, organic, fairly traded nitro cold brew coffee, a grab-and-go option, delivered to your door on a monthly basis. We believe in fueling the thrill. Wild Barn has become the coffee of the outdoors by connecting with our consumers, by being relatable, and our shared love for the outdoors. We have strong partnerships like backcountry.com, ski resorts, athletes, Stio, Onyx Backcountry, and some have even compared us to the Red Bull of, dare we say, or the coffee of Red Bull. Nerves. With nearly zero ad spend up until recently, we've created a strong and passionate community by being relatable, and we've gained a cult following by pulling off some cheeky PR stunts, like, dare I mention, the world's largest all-female naked ski lab. But that's just the sweet stuff. You should know that Alyssa and I drink our coffee black. We grew this business to scale, and last year we both quit our full-time jobs to focus on Wild Barn. Together, just the two of us have got entered into over 70 locations in the Front Range. We're sprinkled throughout the mountain communities, and we intend to go not only after grocery distributors, but outdoor distributors as well. We're placing ourselves in the outdoor community, a $460 billion category. In conclusion, I think that we can all agree that every adventure starts with coffee. So allow Wild Barn to be adventure's first sip. Thank you.
Well done. Judges?
Okay, great presentation. Thank you. I just had a question about the ready-to-drink coffee space. There's, a few others that are doing better for you coffee, like Super Coffee, Rise, and some others. And I just wanted you to talk a little bit more about how you're differentiated from them and why, as a consumer, I would pick up you guys versus those guys.
For sure. So we are actually moving co-packers currently, where we're launching 3 new flavors that will be completely shelf-stable, which is a rare breed in the coffee category. So Rise is one of our competitors, but we will be one of the only shelf-stable nitro cold brews. We're also placing ourselves in the outdoor community, which is different, and we're more of a relatable brand. We're a fun-loving brand, and that definitely separates us from the other competitors. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
I love your packaging. I think it's adorable.
Thank you, Megan.
I am curious, where's the 15 calories coming from? Because it's 0 sugar.
Yep, so just coffee, goji berries, cacao nibs. There's really not a lot of calories in there.
No, I was just curious because it says 0 pretty much for everything. So I was like, okay.
Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? Where do you want the brand to go outside of coffee, or if you want to stay in coffee?
Yeah, we want to be a household product. We want to be represented in, across the globe, really nationwide in 5 years, for sure. And just everyone's go-to. We want people to vote with their dollars, know that our coffee is fair trade, sustainably sourced, and organic.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have kind of a 2-part question, but one, I just wanted to learn a little bit about your product margins, and then the second part of the question is, I've noticed a lot of other ready-to-drink coffees in the smaller 7-ounce cans, and I wondered if you guys ever looked into that and if that would have a margin benefit or impact.
Yeah, so we're averaging a 40% margin right now, and come December, we're moving to sleek 8-ounce cans. All 3 of our flavors will be in 8-ounce cans.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Does that margin include distributor margin?
Yes.
And are you
we do direct to consumer as well.
And who are you currently working with?
So
in the
we
Colorado
have just
area?
a really small distributor. It's a new distributor, and then we just made a deal with cheese importers this week, got into levers, and we can't wait to get into larger distributors. We're ready. Yeah, thank you.
Who's your next hire?
A salesperson. We've got a great team of all women. 2 of them are here, my co-founder, Alyssa. She does all the design and packaging. We have Stacy. She helps us with our finances. We have an operations girl in Portland, Oregon, and she comes from Stumptown Coffee. So now we just need somebody to hit the ground running with sales. Yeah, besides me.
Just wanted to learn about your price point a little bit and price point versus others as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wild Barn Coffee. Great job. Okay, before we move on with the program, this is the audience's chance to vote for their favorite brand. I don't know how you're going to pick. We don't have our phones. We don't get to vote. So if you can scan this QR code, it will take you to the voting. If you're not able to scan it, just open your browser and go to slido.com if it's not scanning for you. And it might take a minute since we're all trying to be on the network right now, so be patient. Is it scanning? Nod, no, scanning, yes, thumbs up. Okay, got several thumbs up. What do you mean?
Bill, can you make this
Thank you, Steve.
He said, get rid of the microphone.
He's an audience spokesperson. Okay, slido.com. So you'll have about 10 minutes to vote in case you really need to think it over. And like I said, be patient. So while the results are being tallied, we don't want to see that slide anymore because we want it to be a surprise. While the votes are being tallied, I would like to recognize any past Naturally Boulder pitchers. If you've ever pitched in the Pitch Slam, stand up, raise your hand, give a whoop whoop. What? You need the code again? Oh, okay. The code is 782775. 782775. The website, do you need the website? Slido.com, SLIDO. Once you're on the website, it'll ask you for a code. 782775. We good? Okay. Oh.
And there's a guest network here, JCC Guest, if you can't get on with the cell reception, and it's no password required.
Great. Okay. So that poll will stay open for a few minutes. Okay, so back to any past Pitch Slam pitchers. Stand up, raise your hand, give a whoop whoop. Where are you? Stand up. Josh, stand it. Okay, where are you? There's some over there. Awesome. Okay, if you've been a Pitch Slam winner, oh, there's some in the back. If you've been a Pitch Slam winner, stay standing. Wild Zora, nice. Who else? I can't see. There's bright lights. Groovy. Justin. All right. I would like to call up two of our past Pitch Slam winners to give us a little update. Dean with Hoplark Tea and Nikki with Groovy. Come up to the stage over here. You can stand up there together. So, Nikki, tell us something you remember from the night that you won. Something you remember from the night that you won and how winning the Pitch Slam has helped you. 1 to 2 minutes.
Well, hey guys, I'm Nikki, founder, CEO of Groovy. I was either fortunate or unfortunate enough to pitch during COVID, which was just a virtual pitch. So a lot less pressure than the Pitch Slam today. But be able to win that award and be sitting in that room by myself was very exciting. This is a much nicer event, so I'm glad we're back.
And how has it helped you to be a Pitch Slam winner?
The awards that the Pitch Slam winner give you really kind of accumulate over time. So I know that right when we won that award, we were able to bring on some new retailers and got introduced to new investors. And then we actually just came back from Expo East last month, where we got an award in their Pitch Slam, which introduced us to even more buyers. So you'll find that, winning the Pitch Slam accumulates over the next 3 or 4 years from what happens today. So very exciting.
Nice. Thank you, Nikki. And Dean. So Dean, I got to warn you, Susan's on the gong. So you have 1 to 2 minutes.
What does that mean? Why me? Hey, what's up, y'all? This is a really fun moment for me because it's kind of coming back home a little bit, both community coming together, and one of the last events we did was winning the Pitch Slam 2 years ago. So it's really cool. You know, Naturally Boulder generally was incredibly helpful to us at launch, like figuring out, navigating all the stuff, because if anyone's thinking about launching a brand, it's a lot of stuff. And then like also, once we won the thing and the prize package, like was like the next level of learning all the things we had to do, many things. And so it was really helpful to navigate that. Ironically, we still haven't used our Expo East free booth yet. Little pandemic in the way. And then I'm gonna plug real quick. So if anyone's like looking for a job, we need a lot of people. So dean@hoptea.com. And if anyone wants to invest, in case you're interested, we're about 20 times as big as we were when we won 2 years ago. So it's been a nice little ride. But thank you to the community, and yeah, great job by the Pitch Slammers. So,
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it. So this is the award I think I always get most excited about. And some of you may know the presenter of this award from his days as a hair model. Others as a friend and advisor to so many different companies, including my former company, Birch Benders. Still more as the founder of a company whose name I can just never remember, but I know all of you know him for how much he's given back to the community, what he's done for the environment, and for the size of his heart. And so, presenting the Industry Leader and Community Champion Award, our 2018 winner, Justin Gold.
All right. Raj, looking good, buddy. Hey, so I like to make things personal. And so this next award recipient, I'll never forget the conversation on where his company that he's the leader of came up. We were at a picnic table outside, it was 15 years ago, and at Justin's, we were discussing who is the organization we want to represent us as our basically nonprofit. Who's an organization that we want to partner with and work with on a deeper, meaningful level? And as a group, we all sat around a table and discussed nonprofits or charities or passions that we had outside of our business and ourselves. And Lance Gentry brought up a company called Conscious Alliance. And I had never heard of Conscious Alliance before. And when Lance started talking about it, he lit up. He talked about an organization that delivers food to food deserts, to locations where they don't have the abundance and the ability to feed themselves like we do. He talked about an organization that'll find food that is maybe coating, or maybe was overproduced, or maybe was, is going to be discontinued, and they'll find locations for that food in a moment's notice to go to areas and organizations that need it. He told me about a community that was a second world community that was a 4 to 5 hour drive from Boulder in South Dakota called Pine Ridge. And that it's something that I need to see to believe, and that this organization, Conscious Alliance, is making a difference there, not only with feeding, but with cultural programs and language programs, because they know they can't fix problems, but they can help. They partner with other food banks and other food organizations. They're a wonderful organization. Anyone who has a food and beverage company needs to know about Conscious Alliance. And as soon as I met them, the first person I met there is tonight's winner, and that's Justin Levy right there. But I'm not done talking.
Justin.
But I'll.
Come on.
So Justin's not only become a good friend and a partner in our business, but he is a fierce lion. This guy walks up and down the natural product showcases and will look you in the eye and ask you uncomfortable questions. He'll get to the root of what he needs and how he can be helpful. This guy has built an organization led an organization that in 2002 got its first delivery of I think 4,000 meals. And last year alone in 2020, did 2.4 million meals were served last year alone. And it's just the logistics of running that many trucks and having a warehouse to supply that many meals. And last year, these guys finally have their forever home right out on 36, where he was able to lead a campaign to finance a house where they have their permanent offices and permanent warehouses. I can't be more proud to introduce Justin and to be associated with Conscious Alliance.
I'm short. Thank you all so much. This is really an honor to the entire Conscious Alliance staff for the work that they do day in and day out to make sure not only that kids have access to healthy food around the country, but also that great products that you all make don't wind up in the landfill. So as Justin mentioned, we started with our first food drive of bringing in 4,000 meals last year, 2.6 million meals. And this week alone, we provided over 200,000 meals of coded product that we were able to pick up and move. It's really you all, so many of you all out here who have helped truly make a Conscious Alliance. I can't be more honored to lead the organization and work with you further. Thank you.
Congratulations, Justin. And I'll also just quickly say my former company and company I work with today all donate food to Conscious Alliance. And I look at all the companies here as well, and I see a lot of opportunities as well. So if you have product, please make sure you reach out to Conscious Alliance. And Justin, congratulations, man. So our keynote speaker, Robin O'Brien, is one of the most recognized voices in the food industry. Her TEDx talk, based on her book, The Unhealthy Truth, exposed the shortcomings of our food system and has been watched by millions, influenced policy, legislation, and product formulation in the food industry. For the last 15 years, she's advised CEOs and executives at multinational CPG companies, startups, and farm organizations, and has been called food's Erin Brockovich by the New York Times. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker, Robin O'Brien.
Okay, first of all, it is so nice to see you guys, to be able to give real hugs in person. And it's also a little bit weird. I don't know if anybody else feels that, but it's going to take a while for us to find our rhythm again. And as I looked around this group tonight, the thing that really has stuck with me, and I want this to stick with you when you leave, is that we really belong to each other. We truly belong to each other. I remember seeing Justin as a waiter in 14th Street. That was the first place I met him. And then to see him in the farmer's market sharing his peanut butter, to hear the story of Fresco's in the farmer's market sharing his peanut butter. And I realized that none of us today would be who we are without this community and the way that we have come around and into each other to build each other, to create what we have created. And I think about how anything of beauty has a supportive scaffolding that goes around it. Whether we are constructing a building, whether we are constructing an extraordinary piece of art, or whether we are constructing each other, we need that supportive scaffolding around each other. And as Raj said, you know, when I first started into this space 15 years ago, people thought I was absolutely nuts. I was speaking about genetically engineered ingredients, the deep concern, the unexposed science, and most people really looked at me like I had 3 heads. And in this community, there were people that listened. There were people that sat down and said, even if half of what you say is true, this is really freaking scary. And it was really scary. It was scary to be a voice for something I did not want to be a voice for. It was scary to expose myself. It was scary. And I remember feeling like I just had this, like, I was just locked in it. I was locked in fear. And a lesson that has come to me over and over again over the last 15 years, and this is for every entrepreneur, is that fear is a seatbelt that will keep you locked in your comfort zone. And once you can see it and identify it for what it is and name it, you can unclick it and you can move through it. And the calling for every single person here today is to unlock that fear and find the courage you need and the scaffolding and the support that you need to grow into what we need you to become. No one in this room has gotten there by themselves. I have not been able to get to the place I am in today without the extraordinary support of people in this room. And they become part of who you are. And then when you tell your story, you can't screw up the lines. You can't forget. You can't blank. Because it is who you are. And as Stacy stood on this stage and she said, we have inherited a broken system. We have inherited so many broken systems. And we cannot fix this broken food system with the broken financial system behind it. We're just putting a Band-Aid on things. And you guys know better than anyone. 85% of consumers now are buying something organic. That is extraordinary. 75% of all grocery store categories now carry something organic. Also extraordinary. 1% of US farmland is organic. It's insane. How do we turn these brands here today into national and global brands if only 1% of our supply chain is organic? The math won't work. And as Raj touched on, as I was getting invited to present to these multinational food companies, you know, in the early years, a lot of the time, they kind of like snuck me in the back door. They didn't want to admit that I was coming inside. And I would sit down with these CEOs and I'd say, you have a math problem. And in the early years, you know, I was trying to show them the data, show them the math of what was happening with food allergies and autism and Alzheimer's and diabetes and pediatric cancer and you name it. And I ask every single one of you, and you could name people that you love that are impacted by this. But you can't change it when those conventional banks don't understand what we're doing. Those guys in New York, in their shiny shoes, don't understand what we're doing. It takes 3 to 5 years to convert that farmland. You can't do that on a quarterly earnings model. You can't. And so as I was giving these back-to-back keynotes 5 years ago, one to General Mills up in Aspen, and one to Nestle in Beaver Creek, and I mean, they were 2 weeks apart, I said, Wall Street's got you guys by the neck. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do for your own kids. You know what you need to do for your shareholders, and you cannot do it because of that supply chain. And they leaned in so hard. I said, you need an alternative source of capital, and they said, where is it? And I was like, it's not coming from those conventional banks that have you on that quarterly earnings model dance. It's not coming from them. And that's when we saw another opportunity. And I think one of the greatest joys in this work is building a team. In the early years of mine, it was solo entrepreneur, and it was so hard, and it was so lonely, and it was so isolating. And in that loneliness and that isolation, which every entrepreneur in this room knows and understands, that's where you find what you're made of. And that's where you find your resiliency. And there were nights where I lay in bed and I thought, with my heart wide open, whatever I'm supposed to be learning here, help me learn it quickly. Because I need to get through this lesson into the next stage. You are sharpened in the hardship. Don't shy away from the hardship. That is some of the most important lesson learning you will do. And so in that moment, as I was sitting there with those CEOs and those executives, and they were in desperation, one of my co-founders, Dave Haynes, same thing. He was sitting there and he's like, we're in crisis, there's desperation. And then my third co-founder, Don Schaefer, out in Oakland, he was in the same place. The model didn't exist that we all knew needed to happen. And so the three of us put our heads together to create Replant Capital. If anyone had suggested that 15 years ago, I would have thought, if only. I remember flying from Denver down to Houston, where I am from, and coming in over this city of 10 million people and thinking, this is going to be impossible. And then I stopped myself and I said, impossible is just something that hasn't been done yet. So find your team. Find your courage. Ask for help. And leverage everything that you are to make this change. Today we have a $2 billion evergreen debt fund that is transitioning the supply chains of the food industry to regenerative and organic agriculture. Our goal is that right now, if 1% of farmland is organic, by 2030, 8 to 10% of farmland in the US is organic. Is that big? In Europe, if you have competitive juice, which I know this room does, in Europe, 8.5% of their farmland's organic. So this is on us, and thankfully you heard from Deanna, and Danone is one of our first partners, but they are coming in hard and fast. And today on the call with my team, we were saying, let's get some of these smaller companies in too, because the supply chain that you guys are tapping right now is the most critical piece of your business. It is your fiduciary duty to your shareholders to make sure that you can source your ingredients. So know your farmers. We talk about that all the time. It has been crazy to learn which food companies don't actually know their farmers. And have the courage to step into the hard conversations and have the courage to step into the growth that's in front of you. Because I've seen over and over and over again that courage is so contagious. And that is what this community is remarkable at. So as you look around the room at these amazing people, remember that we belong to each other. And remember that in that, our farmers also belong to us too. And that we have an amazing responsibility and opportunity in front of us over the next 10, 20, 30 years to transition US agriculture and US farmland to demonstrate all of the remarkable values that are held by this remarkable group of people. So thank you to all of you guys for the extraordinary work, for the love, for the passion, for the courage, for the resiliency, and for all that you're doing to make this extraordinary transition.
Thank you. Thank you, Robin.
Are you guys dead over there?
I think, oh, here we
there
go.
you go.
We're back. So do you think the judges are having a hard time deciding?
I don't know.
I do. I think they're having a hard time.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Bill, take it away.
Okay, so we're in the home stretch. Everybody doing okay? And don't forget, when we finish the program here, we'll announce the winners. We're just a few minutes away from doing that, so don't worry. Drinks await, more food. They replenish the food. So stick around, hang out, talk to your friends. We're happy to have you here until 8:30, okay? Hang as long as you want till 8:30. Well, you have to leave at 8:30, but hang till then. You can get involved in Naturally Boulder. There's lots of ways, okay? I know a lot of you are members, which is great. We have a little over 1,100 individual members right now. The best deal in town, $65 a year. Can't beat it. We have 97 sponsors. We welcome any sponsor and all sponsors. So if you're interested in sponsorship, give me a call, drop me a note, bill@naturallyboulder.org, or talk to Julie or Christy or any of us anytime. We're open. We have these amazing forum groups going on. Some of you have heard about them. They are awesome. Julie Novelli is moderating all of them now in place of me, which is super cool. And they're fun. You can get involved in our Slack channels if you're a member. So don't hesitate to join those. We do a lot of programming, and we have a mentorship opportunity. So we started a membership program in the spring, and it's going great. And we're going to relaunch that again this winter. So lots of ways you can participate, but the key is you got to participate. So make sure you show up, come to events, check in with us online. We'll be doing a lot of virtual events as well as in person, and definitely hybrids from now on. Be remiss if we did not thank our premier sponsors. We've got Justin's. Thank you, Justin and team. The Kiln, where we office out of, super fabulous people. We love them. Ironclad Consulting, they do financial work for us, and they're also connected with our national network, and they're great people, and I know a few of them are here today. So thank you, Ironclad. Danone, thank you for years of sponsorship at the highest level. We appreciate you. Mindsight. And Jessica Sabilla, who you've probably seen working around here, has done just a yeoman's job and is in at a sponsorship level as well. At the platinum level, Yasso, One, Noosa, Birch Benders, Mindsight, 1908, Celestial, Prova, RFI, Ballard Spall, New Nexus, Root, Brand Geek, and William Blair. And I'm not going to read all of them, but let's give a round of applause to our gold sponsors. Leave it up there for just a second, Susan. Gold, silver. You can join this list. It looks a little bit like NASCAR, but we're the envy of all of the networks, I'll tell you right now. And bronze. Thank you all. There is no shame in being a bronze sponsor. Trust me. Okay, I think we're moving on now. Are we ready? Judges, have you reached your decision? They have. Take it away, you guys.
Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. But first, because I want to keep you in suspense a little bit longer, once we announce the winner, stay in your seats for just a minute or two longer, because we have a couple things to share. So without further ado, are you ready? The third place winner is Fossil Fuel Donuts. Give it up for Fossil Fuel. Come on up to the stage to get your award. If all the pictures could be kind of near the stage,
Yeah, that'll help.
that would be helpful.
So just anticipate you're winning and come on up.
Round of applause for Fossil Fuel. Wait, check out this award. Check this out. Fantastic.
Okay. Second place, we have Pastificio. Congratulations, Claudia and team.
Hey, Jess.
Really well done. Congratulations.
This is going to look great on you.
Really ties everything together.
You want to give her the bag?
Next, we have the People's Choice winner. The People's Choice winner is, I always wanted to do that, Wild Barn Coffee.
Jenny, I think you're going to look awesome.
I always wanted a big belt.
I'd love to know who came up with the idea of the heavyweight belts. Those are awesome.
Brandon Hernandez.
Brandon Hernandez. Nice job, Brandon. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Who is the winner of the $75,000 prize pack and the notoriety of becoming the Naturally Boulder 2021 Pitch Slam winner? Can I get a drum roll from the audience on your laps? Drum roll. And the winner is Frescos Naturales. Juan, come on up.
Juan, you're going to look great in this gold belt. Where are you?
All right, Juan.
There he is.
Yo, thank you so much, for real.
You can say a few more words. You want to say? You can have a minute.
Well, yeah, now you put me on the spot. I memorized that whole thing, you know what I mean? And then I was like, yeah. No, I guess just to say, yeah, I'm really proud of this, you know, for real. Like, I thought about applying to this before, before it was even out there, you know, because, like I said, with the hot sauce, I've learned about this industry. I never thought I would be here, you know? I think there's a lot of us that never thought we would be here, right? The pandemic definitely did that. But even before that, you know, for me, you know, starting the food business, I had never in my life thought I would be selling hot sauce, for real. You know, now it's, you know, it's got like a cult-like following, you know, King Soopers, Whole Foods, and it's out there. And I learned a lot, you know, that's my mom's hot sauce recipe. Dude, I got so many stories I could tell you. I don't want to take all night, but you know, it's part of my identity, all of this, and it's been beautiful. You know, like all of a sudden, yeah, to be here, this is great. So thank you so much.
Round of applause for Juan and Frescos Naturales. Congratulations, Juan. All right, we have about 1 minute left. Stay in your seats. Let's give a big thank you to all the Innovation Showcase brands, the pitchers, the judges, the volunteers, the staff, the sponsors. What a night. Raj.
And a thank you to you, the audience. We missed you. It's good to see you. We'll look forward to seeing you again in the spring for our spring fling. A couple quick announcements. Pitch Slam contestants will be in the tent. Please go say hi. Give them your unfiltered feedback on what they did wrong. Make sure they know that. They're all sitting there. The Innovation Showcase will be back open, so go ahead and fill your pockets with free food. And dessert will be served on trays, thanks to our sponsors, Alpine Bank, Lily's, and Prova. Thank you so much for coming here today. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Have a good night.
Like a river song, she gave me love, 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 crazy. She gave me love, 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 crazy. She got a fine sense of humor when I'm feeling low down. Yeah, when I come to her, when the sun goes down. Take away my trouble, take away my grief. Take away my heartache in a night like a thief. She gave me love.